I think we do have bare quorum, so we can get started. I think we're just waiting for one person to join us. So I'll call the public meeting to order, and I'll read the notice of collection, the public meeting introduction. Thank you. And the notice of collection. Personal information collected as a result of this public hearing and on the forms provided at the back of the room is collected under the authority of the Planning Act and will be used to assist in making a decision on this matter. All names, addresses, opinions, and comments may be collected and may form part of the minutes, which will be available to the public. Questions regarding the collection should be forwarded to the Director of Planning, Building, and Licensing Services. The purpose of public meetings is to present planning applications in a public forum as required by the Planning Act. Following presentations by the applicant, committee members will be afforded an opportunity to ask questions for clarification or further information. The meeting will then be open to the public for comments and questions. Interested persons are requested to give their name and address for recording in the minutes. There is also a sign-in sheet for interested members of the public at the back of the room. No decisions are made at public meetings concerning applications unless otherwise noted. The public meeting is held to gather public opinion. Exemption of this rule is outlined in Bylaw 2006-75 to delegate various planning approvals to staff and adopt certain procedures for the processing of planning applications subject to delegated authority. Council has authorized staff to use discretion in determining if an application can be a combined public meeting comprehensive report to expedite the approval process. We do have a combined public meeting comprehensive report for zoning bylaw amendment to 14 North Bartlett and 644 Victoria Street. The decision will be made at the regular portion of the planning meeting tonight. Information gathered at public meetings is then referred back to Planning, Building, and Licensing Services staff for the preparation of a comprehensive report and recommendation to Planning Committee. This means that after the public meeting tonight, staff will be considering the comments made by the public in their further review of the applications. When this review is completed, a report will be prepared making a recommendation for action to this committee. The recommendation is typically to approve or to deny. This committee then makes a recommendation on the application to City Council. City Council has the final say on the applications from the city's perspective. Excuse me. Following council decision, notice will be circulated in accordance with the Planning Act, and anyone with an interest in the matter may file an appeal. Interested persons are advised that if a person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions before the bylaw is passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of council to the Ontario Municipal Board unless, in the opinion of the board, there are reasonable grounds to do so. So, thank you very much. I'll just recognize the councillors that are here. Councillor Turner, Councillor McLaren, and Councillor Osanek. Hold your applause, please. Thank you very much. So our first and only public meeting tonight is regarding 14 North Bartlett and 644 Victoria Street. It's file number D14036-2017. And it's a request for a zoning bylaw amendment. And the owner is Mary Lowen, and the applicant is Jennifer Foster. Would you like to speak to the committee? Thank you. If you want to step right up here. I can take this off for
Oh, no, I won't need that. Thanks. So good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Foster. I'm a lawyer with the law firm Ryder Burber Turley Foster, and I'm representing Mary Suzanne Lowen in this application. The report outlines most of what we have to say. Ms. Lowen inherited the two parcels from her mother. The parcels merged upon the death of her father when Mrs. Lowen became the owner of both. Until now, Suzanne Lowen has been renting out 14 North Bartlett, but she'd like, at this point in time, to undo the merger of the titles through consent to sever, and the application to consent to sever. But a precursor to that, of course, is the zoning amendment bylaw, since the 14 North Bartlett no longer meets the requirements of the current city bylaws. In the course of this, of course, we also realized that separating the two parcels would mean that 644 Victoria would also run afoul of some frontage bylaws. The two parcels have existed as they are. They have looked exactly the same for the entire time that the Lowen family has owned the property, I believe from the 1960s. I don't have my title notes here. There are no amendments planned for the property, no building, no demolition, and the two sites will exist exactly as they are. Ms. Lowen is just simply hoping to disentangle them from each other from a legal titles point of view. Happy to answer any questions or provide any more detail that you may need.
Thank you very much. And if staff could make any comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, public notice for this application was provided in accordance with the Planning Act. 108 property owners were mailed out public notices within the 120 meters of the subject property, as well as a sign was posted on the property, and as well a courtesy notice was placed in the Kingston WIG standard. To date, 2 pieces of written correspondence has been received in support of the application. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Members of the committee, do you have any questions or comments? I just have one very quick question. If this were, it's the severance that's bringing this forward, but this would be considered, would it, existing non-conforming use? I know North Bartlett there's very few properties on North Bartlett that would meet current zoning, given the nature and the age of the neighborhood.
Mr. Chair, we're bringing forward the non-compliances through the draft zoning bylaw. So that's part of the intent of this bylaw, is to make or provide relief through the bylaw to ensure that it complies with the creation of the lots moving forward. And this application is subject to a consent application concurrent to the zoning. Thank you.
Great, I appreciate that. Yes, Councillor Turner.
Through you, Mr. Chair. When you look at the drawing here on Exhibit D, it looks like they've done the same thing across the street, and there seems to be no, there's only correspondence that relates in a positive way. So I think it would just fit in with the neighborhood more so, as you see here. Yeah. So that's my
Thank you for pointing
comments.
that out.
Thanks.
Welcome to the core of the city where nothing is uniform. Thank you. Any members of the public that would like to speak to this?
Frank Dixon, 495 Alfred, Apartment 2. I read through the report and thank you for the presentation. I did walk by the area for a few minutes and I don't see any problems with what you're trying to do. You're just bringing it into modern times, and hopefully the committee will support, and all the best going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further questions from the committee? Seeing none, I declare the public meeting closed, and we may be going for the land speed record for a planning committee meeting. We'll move into the regular planning committee meeting number 04-2016. I'll call this meeting to order. Approval of agenda. Thank you, Councillor Turner. Thank you, Councillor McLaren. He lifted his hand. All those in favor? Carried. Confirmation of minutes. These are the minutes from our January 18th. Mover and a shaker. Thank you, Councillor Osanek. I won't shame you into it. Councillor Turner, any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Delegations, none. Briefings, none. Business, I'll just read out the portion of the business comment. The portion of the meeting, this portion of the meeting is open to the public. The city has initiated a new process in which members of the public will have the opportunity to speak for up to 5 minutes on comprehensive reports presented before the Planning Committee. Those wishing to provide oral comments at this meeting will be invited to do so. However, because this is not a public meeting pursuant to the requirements of the Planning Act, in order to retain appeal rights to the Ontario Municipal Board, one must have provided oral comments during the statutory public meeting and/or provide written comments in advance of a final decision by council. And before us today is file number D14-036-2017, which is the comprehensive report on 14 North Bartlett, 644 Victoria Street. And there's a recommendation before us. Any questions? Yes, seeing none? Okay, any member of the public wish to speak before we move and second it? Seeing none? Councillor Turner was raising her hand to move it. Councillor Osanek was seconding it. Any further questions? All those in favor? Carried. So the recommendation is now carried. This is a record for Planning Committee meeting. And Councillor Turner would never have believed that I could chair a meeting that had the shortest record. Moving along, any motions, notices of motion, other business, correspondence? We just received the two concerning North Bartlett. Date and time of next meeting, February 15th at 6:30 p.m. So, anybody want to jump up and... Thank you. Motion to adjourn. Seconder. All those in favor? Carried.